Cortez and get him to explain what the hell's going on. Insane or not, he's the only person I can talk to about this. Good morning.
Did you ever question your own sanity, April? I mean, did you ever wonder if you were going mad?
Definitely.
Then explain to me. How do you deal with it? Do you lock it away inside yourself? Or do you talk to someone about it? Because I'm at a loss here, April. I don't know what to do.
You have to give me more to go on than that.
I don't know how I can put it into words. What I saw.
What did you see?
Last night, right here in this room, Mickey and I, we were watching a movie, a documentary about the new synthetic rainforests in Mexico. You know, the ones that produce 8 times the oxygen of the original organic forests.
I've heard about...
But I'm digressing. Anyway, about halfway through the movie, like I said, I'm probably going completely bonkers. This room became it was more like a vision, really, and I'm sure it wasn't holographic.
What kind of vision?
This room turned into a forest.
What?
It was like the forest came out of the screen and into the room, like being in the middle of a holo theatre, but with added resolution, hallucinogenic effects, and smells. It only lasted for a few seconds, and then it all just disappeared.
Did anyone else see this?
Mickey did, but she refuses to speak of it. Says it was just our imagination acting up, which leaves me wondering how long it'll take before I end up in a mental institution.
Something equally weird happened at the cafe last night.
What was that?
Last night, at the cafe, right in front of everybody, this creature appeared out of thin air. Just like your forest. It was only there for a few seconds and then it disappeared, but everybody saw it. Everybody.
Oh my. What's going on, love? I don't scare easily, but this is really getting to me.
Don't know. But whatever it is, I'm pretty sure Cortez is involved.
Cortez? How is he involved?
I don't know that either. I'd love to find out, though. What other weird things have happened lately?
Little things, like movement in the corner of your eye that's gone when you turn your head. And noises, the kind you're not supposed to hear in the city. Animal noises. Wild animals. And once, this was very early in the morning, mind, a few days ago, I looked down into the canal and saw what looked like an underwater city. But as I looked at it, it dissolved into ripples of water.
Scary.
You're telling me, darling? I'm scared of cockroaches, for God's sake. What do you think this does to my nerves?
Have you seen Cortez today?
No, darling. I don't think he's around.
Do you have any idea where Cortez is?
Sorry, he could be anywhere. Well, he does enjoy going uptown to watch old movies in some revival cinema, but where that is, I wouldn't know.
Who'd know?
Perhaps Zach. He is, after all, the self-appointed film expert around here. You should talk to him, darling.
Great, Zach, my very best friend in the whole wide world. Could you tell Cortez I'm looking for him?
Certainly, darling, if I happen to see him.
Thanks. I have to get going.
Take care of yourself out there, darling.
I never imagined I'd be doing this in a million years.
Well, what do you know? The princess comes knocking after all.
Yes, I finally realized what I was missing out on.
About time, too. So, you, ready to hang out?
Just do me one favor first, okay?
Well, give me a reason to, babe.
A reason? You want a reason? Okay. What about a date?
Yeah. Good. Tonight.
Sure. Tonight. I'll meet you at the... Pavilion, was it?
And, are you gonna put out?
What?
I mean, if I'm gonna use my VIP passes and my pills, babe, I just gotta know if it'll be worth it or not. You on?
We'll see, Zach.
Just don't do a Houdini and vanish on me, babe. If you're a no-show and I wait around for you all night, I end up looking like an asshole, and that wouldn't make me very happy.
I'll be a good girl and show.
Smart. So, what do you want to know?
You know where I can find Cortez?
Cortez, yeah? I knew there was something going on between you guys.
Don't be ridiculous, Zach. It's not what you think.
Whatever. Hey, like I give a shit? You're with me tonight, and by tomorrow morning, I don't think you'll find that old creep so appealing anymore.
So, where's Cortez?
When he's not outside reading or whatever the hell he does, he's usually at the Mercury Theater. They show old movies on real celluloid stock through a projector, like in the fucking Middle Ages.
Where's this theater located?
I don't remember the street it's on. It's been ages since I was there last. But you'll find it if you head out the East Gateway from Metro Circle. It's close to the Radio Power building, and there are tons of adult stores in the area. Actually, if you're not too busy, you could pick up something for us to watch tonight. Something really filthy.
Zach, I don't think...
Hey, whatever. I was just kidding, yeah? Babe, you got a major bug up your ass. Get a fucking sense of humor, yeah?
I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for the tip and the info.
Just be at the pavilion by 10, okay? I don't like waiting around for babies like you. Got a million better things to do. And it wouldn't be a good idea for you to ditch me. Not a good idea at all.
Hi.
Yes?
What's Metro Circle like?
That's the sleaziest and most perverted neighborhood in Newport. On the negative side, however, it's also a dangerous place to hang out. I wouldn't go there alone if I were you.
I have to get going.
Take care of yourself out there, darling.
Any nightmares tonight, April?
After last night, are you kidding? It's a wonder I haven't gone crazy yet.
So you're in the true believer crowd then?
What do you mean?
What I mean is, a lot of people who were here last night refuse to admit that they saw what they saw, or they blame it on hidden holographic projectors or drugs in the coffee.
That's as good an explanation as any, don't you think?
Is it? Among all the alternatives, you'd prefer to believe in a conspiracy?
What, and face the fact that we all might be going mad, or that something really bad is happening?
Who knows, April? Perhaps sometimes it's better to embrace the mystery rather than trying to explain it.
I believe what I see, Charlie. Sometimes I don't even believe that. Anyway, let's not talk about that right now, okay?
Okay.
Gotta go find Cortez again.
Is this going to be a daily ritual with you guys?
I certainly hope not. Would you believe this is the first thing I saw when I came to Newport? Big city? Gotta love it.
There's no way out of here. Did you know that? There's no way out of Victory Hotel. All exits just...
You have no idea what I went through to find you. First...
Do you like movies?
Sure. Who doesn't? Wait a second. I was trying to tell you that...
I don't much like modern movies myself. They're either too loud and expensive or too obscure and self-indulgent. But old movies, really old movies, have a charm and a simplicity that appeals to me.
Listen, please don't interrupt me again. It's starting to piss me off.
But I have never interrupted you, unless I've had something important to say, of course. But go ahead. What is it you wanted to talk about?
Why did you make me search all over the city for you?
Search for me? I've been here for hours, señorita. I haven't moved. The question ought to be, what made you go out of your way to find me?
We agreed to meet this morning, remember?
As I remember it, there was no agreement. I said tomorrow, but you refused. I assumed you weren't interested. I apologize for making myself unavailable, however.
Don't give me that. You wanted me to come looking for you again.
Actually, no, I had to lay low for a few hours.
Does it have anything to do with the cop that was staking this place out?
Yeah. So it was a good thing I didn't stick my head out the door to look for you then, no?
He's gone now. Are you in some kind of trouble with the police? Wait, don't tell me. Immigration.
No, señorita. Not the police. There are bigger players than the police.
I don't want to know. I'm not getting mixed up with the mob or gangs or anything like that.
There's not much you want to be mixed up in at all, is there?
My life's complicated enough as it is, Mr. Cortez. I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Answers. You want, you need answers.
You keep telling me that, but you never give me any answers. Just more questions. Like, who's out to get you? What's going on with me? How come you know so much about me?
I plan to answer all your questions today, April. By the time you go to sleep tonight, your world will have changed, and nothing will ever be the same.
You're just being cryptic again. It's like soap opera sex. Lots of boring dialogue, and when they finally go to bed, everything's dark and covered by blankets.
You want the full Monty then? Come with me. Come outside. No more talk. I will show you the truth. This is probably as good a place as any. At least there's no one around to see, except rats.
To see what?
Stand back, señorita.
What for? What are you doing?
Why, Alice, I'm sending you through the looking glass.
What is that? Please tell me it's a hologram.
It's a mirror to reflect your dreams.
I don't see anything, just light.
Well, you have to step through.
Step through that? Oh no, I don't think so.
This is the moment of decision, April. All time, past and present, revolves around this moment. The destiny of worlds is in your hands. But you must make the choice on your own. La vida es corta. You must decide how to live it best.
All right. I'll do it.
Vamos. Enter the light.
Don't say that. It sounds too ominous. Just tell me what's gonna happen.
You're about to take the first step on the longest journey of your life. But don't worry. I'll be waiting right here.
I must be insane to do this.
Yes, it's pretty much a given. Oh, I almost forgot. When you're ready to come back, pay a visit to a friend of mine called Westhouse, Brian Westhouse. Vaya con Dios, child, and may the balance protect you.
Cortez? Cortez! I have a bad feeling about this. Wait, what was the name Cortez told me to remember? Westhouse? Ryan Westhouse? I think that was it. Cortez said to look him up when I wanted to go home. Well, I want to go home now. Hello? Hi.
Et tu? Emile, tu vas?
Do you speak English? Parlez-vous français? Habla español?
Aku, sta caen paras. Inomalante candra, ton maris orethesiton. Aku kandi. Good. Niranton al voce. Sank al coda magic. Torante, salhe, naven, all tongue. Av orta I beginning, parasimtin you. You have piesa I magic I Sara. I the knowledge. Aritia ya I tue by generations e umani. Knowledge of all tongue. Now you have allowed the magic to enter your heart, and the knowledge of all tongue, ever present but dormant, to guide your ears and your tongue.
I understand you. You speak English? Why didn't you just tell me straight away?
No, child. I do not speak English. I speak Naven, all tongue, the common language of Arcadia.
Arcadia? Wait a second. How did I get here? What is this place, and who the hell are you?
Oh, my manners have abandoned me yet again. I'm afraid my preoccupation with ancient texts and the company of my fellow fathers have left me unequipped with the grace of social intercourse.
Meaning what?
That I have been rude. My name, dear child, is Tobias Grensret, and I am the Vestrum of the Sentinel, the Order of the Balance. We are the Fathers.
Okay. I'm April. April Ryan.
I take it this is your first shift, your first passage through the divide?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I guess this is my first shift.
Then I will explain everything. Someone must. You are without guidance, without a mentor?
Mentor? There's this guy Cortez. He assisted me, told me about magic and truth and dreams and portals. Crazy stuff. Well, it seemed crazy at the time, although now I don't...
Cortez? Ah, yes, Cortez. Very good, very good. Then come, let us proceed. Let me show you Marcuria, the grandest city of all ages. Explore Marcuria, April. See the sights, meet the people, and then, when you are ready, return to the temple. I will answer whatever questions you may have then.
Excuse me, Vestrum Tobias?
Tobias. Just call me Tobias, please. I require no ceremony from a distinguished guest such as yourself. Did you enjoy the sights?
I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. Walking around out there, seeing with my own two eyes things that can't possibly exist. I kept thinking, it's all a dream. I'll wake up at any moment now and everything will return to normal. But then I realized I'm still here. It's real. I can touch it. I can smell it. And you know what? It doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense here. Magic, alien creatures, parallel worlds. I don't believe in those things. I don't believe in fairy tales.
In your world, in Stark, there is no room for magic. That is and always has been the curse of science, the fallibility of logic and order. They leave no room for the imagination. If it does not fit into the narrow perception of the laws of nature that your world adheres to, it's a fairy tale. But then, magic has its downsides too. It's unpredictable. It invites chaos. It puts the balance in peril in a way that science alone never could.
I keep hearing about the balance and about Stark and Arcadia and... This is probably going to sound strange to you, but I'm clueless. I have no idea what this place is or what I'm doing here or... All I know is that something strange is happening in my world, I guess. I had dreams, and the dreams felt so real, and then things started happening in real life too. Things that couldn't happen, and
I think I will begin at the very beginning. I believe that is why you were sent here, to learn, to understand, to see for yourself. Like you said, you cannot believe in this place. Well, you will. After you have learned the truth, you will. Come with me, and I will tell you the story of Earth as your books never have. And when your eyes and ears are open to the truth, perhaps your mind will follow. We can only hope. Come. This is the true story of the balance, as observed by the Sentinel, the Order of the Balance, the Fathers. The Sentinel Minstrom committed this story to the pages of the scriptures and to these temple walls thousands of years ago, so that coming generations could learn and understand their past and their future. The wall paintings we are looking at became known as the murals of the balance. And it is through these images that I will recount our common history to you, April Ryan. The story begins and ends here, with this mural. Ages ago and in ages to come, the earth was one, and magic and science existed side by side in nature and in all people. There was balance, and there was harmony.
You're saying there was just one world then?
One world, one earth. Magic and science in balance with each other, within each and every living creature. The power to make the stars dance and to create life itself was within our grasp. But then, humankind began to exploit this divine power of two, and they saw fit to use it for their own selfish purposes. The balance of the cosmos was in peril. Unless something was done, unless man was humbled and learned to fear the power he wrought over cosmos, the twilight of chaos would fall upon Earth. It had happened before, in distant times and on distant worlds, and it would happen again. And every man, woman, and child of every people and every race would be devoured by the coming apocalypse. We were given a visitation then. The Drag Kin, having lived among us for untold generations, rose to offer their guidance and assistance in preserving the balance on our world.
The Drag? I think I've heard that name before.
Drykin, Draken, Dragons, whichever name they go by, they remain the eternal servants and custodians of the balance. There were 4 of them here on Earth, and of the 4, one who would found the order of the balance, the Sentinel. The first Minstrum were instructed that magic and science would have to be separated before the balance collapsed and brought untold disaster. Earth would have to be split in 2 equal parts. Arcadia and Stark, magic and science, chaos and order. The first Sentinel were counted 13, 6 scientists, 6 magicians, and one who was between, the Drakkin, our mentor, our custodian, our learned guide. Both magic and science were needed to perform this most difficult of tasks, to split a world in 2, to create 2 worlds from one.
Wasn't the use of that kind of power dangerous to the balance?
Yes, and so for this purpose, they built a tower to channel their powers and focus them on the divide that they would create. The kin had brought a disc with them, a disc forged in the fire of their world. Placed at the base of the tower, and the epicenter of the divide, the disc and the tower would become one, a conduit for the flow of magic and science. At the appointed hour, the 13 came to the tower, and with them a woman whose destiny was decided by the purpose to which she had been born. She would be the first guardian, the human protector of the balance, who would stay in the tower for 1,000 years to watch over the 2 worlds and to ensure that the flows of magic and science were always equal. And so the ritual began. One world was to become 2, separated by the balance, and each world visible to the other only by way of dreams. Who was ushered into which world was not an arbitrary choice, nor one taken lightly. For the magical creatures, the choice was simple. They had to go to Arcadia. Their kind would not survive in Stark. But for others, families were torn apart, lovers separated, and friends lost for all eternity. Encircled by the 12 and the one who would be guardian, the disc at the base of the tower began to spin faster and faster as more and more power flowed through it, until it was a blur. Darkness enveloped the tower, but the disc glowed brighter and brighter. Reality turned, and in one moment, a new reality had been created and 2 new worlds born. In the tower there was silence. The original disc had disappeared, and in its place was a smaller counterpart, a similar yet different disc. Around and outside the tower the world looked different. They were now between Stark and Arcadia, between reality and dream. This was the realm of the balance and of the guardian, and it would be her home for the next 1,000 years. The one who was kin picked up the disc and said, "This disc is a counterpart to the original disc, which has now become this realm, and the key to which has been split and divided in 4. The key is the disc, and the disc is this realm." This mystified the 12, and the one who was kin continued, "Know only this. The Guardian's realm cannot be broken unless the disc is broken. But nor can it be repaired without the disc being repaired. The 4 pieces, that is the key, will be given to the 6 of you who are to be taken to Arcadia for safekeeping. Yet the key will never be complete," he went on, "without the precious stones that adorn each piece. I will keep 1, and my fellow kin the 3 others. Should the day come when this realm must be repaired, or the worlds reunited, and that day will come, You will assemble the disk, and the kin will come together one last time. With that, 6 of the 13 went to Arcadia, and 6 to Stark, and the one who would be guardian ascended to the throne. Witness the mural, where her dreams and hopes, her very soul, were locked away in the disk. In service of the balance, these traits were nothing but barriers. Through new eyes, the imbalance between the worlds was as clear as the stars themselves to the Guardian, and with one thought, she channeled chaos from Arcadia and logic from Stark into the disk, and redistributed the power wherever it was needed. A new era had begun, the era of the Guardian. After they left the tower, 2 of the Drakkin went to Stark, the other 2 to Arcadia. The 6 who came to each world started what is now known as the Sentinel, the Order of the Balance. But while in Arcadia the Sentinel thrived, in Stark they did not. In Stark, the memories of magic and the balance could not survive in the face of the new reality of natural laws, of logic, and of science. And soon, very soon, Arcadia became nothing more than legend, a myth, tales of fairies to recount to impressionable children, and stories to frighten and entertain around a fire. And while dreams still brought sights and sounds of Arcadia to those asleep in Stark, they were discounted as mere dreams and nothing more.
So that's it? We forgot about our past and about Arcadia? And that's the way things are? Then what's wrong with that? And why does magic from Arcadia seem to have begun leaking through to Stark?
That is another long story. But I can tell that you are tired of stories, and so I shall be brief. As I told you, while in Arcadia, the Sentinel grew in numbers and in strength. In Stark, while flourishing for a brief time, they were soon diminished and powerless. Some of the Stark Sentinel did not take kindly to this, and they berated the Arcadian Sentinel for their politics and teachings. The Stark Sentinel wanted people to work towards reunification, while their brothers did not. So the inevitable soon came to pass, and the Stark Sentinel parted ways with their Arcadian brothers, and named themselves the Vanguard. And while at first their philosophy was not so different from ours, over the years it changed radically. The Vanguard wanted the divide torn down, the worlds reunited, and the return to what they called the Glorious Ages, when humankind could control the forces of cosmos. But first they needed their own servant in charge of the balance, their own guardian. Now, every 1,000 years, a new guardian took the place of the old one, because no one can be separated from their souls for any longer than 1,000 years. Every 1,000 years, a new guardian was born. The balance provided the seed from which a new fruit grew. But now, it has been 200 years since the previous guardian, the 12th guardian, was to be replaced. Every new child born to the balance has been taken away by the Vanguard, to be studied in an attempt to control them. In every instance so far they have failed. But the 12th guardian could wait no longer. Only a short time ago the disk in the tower shattered, and the guardian left his throne. The balance is now untended, and we have yet to find a new guardian. Unless we do so, the Vanguard may get their chance. And they may be able to place their own puppet on the throne, to rule the balance according to their principles. And this we cannot allow. It will mean the end of Stark and Arcadia, and the dawn of an era of chaos. Now do you see?
I understand the history. I can even accept it. But I don't understand why I'm here and what Cortez wants with me.
The balance is in peril, April. The Guardian has abandoned his tower. He has disappeared, and there is no one to take his place. He must be reinstated to protect the balance until a new Guardian may be found.
And what can I do? I'm nobody. I've just been having a lot of bad dreams.
You are a strong shifter. I have not seen your like in my lifetime.
A shifter?
Someone capable of opening doors between worlds. A shift. A portal between the realms of Stark and Arcadia.
Are you kidding? I didn't do anything. Cortez was the one who opened the shift, and he just waved his hands around in the air. I don't think I'd be capable of opening a portal even if I had a magic wand.
Only a shifter's own power can allow her to travel. No one else can do this for her. Cortez only channeled your power to aid you. He would not be able to step through the shift himself.
Even if that's true, I don't have any control over my talent.
Not yet. But in time you will. How else do you intend to travel back to your world?
God, I hadn't even thought about that yet. Can't you help me?
I'm afraid not. Even if I could shift, I would not be able to channel through you like Cortez did.
So, I'm on my own?
If you have any questions, I will do my best to answer them. But aside from that, yes, you are.
That's so not cool.
No, it has been unseasonably warm. If you don't mind, I will return to my studies now. Thank you for listening to an old man and his long stories.
No, thank you. It's starting to make a little bit of sense now.
That is good news. Come see me again if you have any more questions.
Excuse me. Do you mind if I ask you some questions about Arcadia?
I will try my best to answer any question you may have, April.
What's the history of Arcadia?
There is so much I do not know where to begin. In truth, it would be wiser to ask someone else, unless you wish to know about the Fathers, the Balance, or Mudhoppers.
Mudhoppers?
My secret passion. I study them. They are a most fascinating species. Most fascinating indeed. But I am not practically versed in the intricacies of history, I'm sorry to say.
What's Marcuria like?
I have lived in this city all my life, and still it amazes me what a diverse, exciting, and wonderful place it is. Many have called Marcuria the jewel of the Northlands, and they are right. But it is a diamond in the rough. A city this size can never be flawless. There are always shadows and people who hide in them. Lately the shadows have grown and darkened, and I fear for the future. But Marcuria is still a wonderful place to live.
What else can you tell me about Marcuria?
Marcuria is the capital of Ireed, the unified country, and we are located on the southern coast of the Northlands, halfway between Tyron and Coruscant. Between the Snapjaw and the Gaintbeast, some might call it. Between the embers and the fire. Yet democracy and peace have reigned for thousands of years now, and although relations may at times be strained with our tyrant neighbors, the High Council are masters of diplomacy. And Lord Igvandellan is a firm and just chief counselor of the Ireedan flag.
Tell me a little about Ireed.
Ireed means both unification and assembly in High Tongue, and many still call Ireed the unified country, even though it is an age and a half since the lands of the north joined together in alliance. Ireed stretches from the plains of Nedra in the north to the Great Sea in the south, and from the territories of Tyron in the west to the thick woodlands in the east. It is populated by humans and Dolmare, Tyron and a number of other races. It is even said that a tribe of Venar have a ring of trees in Riverwood, though I am not sure that is anything but a myth.
What are the Northlands?
The Northlands is a collective term for all the lands north of the Great Sea, and south of the border mountains including Ireed, Tyran, and Khorasan. Before, however, the word Northlands was used to describe this entire continent, including the territories north of the mountains and the icy wastes beyond that. Some still prefer the latter interpretation of the name, and to the people of the Southlands, anyone hailing from north of the Great Sea is a Northlander regardless.
Thanks for the information.
I'm glad I could assist you.
How am I supposed to get back to Stark?
The only way to get back is through a shift. You are a shifter, April, and the power to travel between worlds is within you.
It might be within me, but it doesn't look like it's coming out anytime soon.
I wish I could help you, but I cannot. You must find the path on your own.
What do you know about Cortez?
Your mentor? What has he told you about himself?
Not much. Nothing, in fact. He's a complete mystery to me.
To learn something about someone, the best way to go about it is to ask them yourself. There is nothing I can do to enlighten you.
But who is he?
He is who he is, what he is. If he has not told you himself, then perhaps he does not wish you to know. It would be improper for me to divulge his secrets.
You're as bad as he is. No offense. It's just frustrating.
I understand. The next time you see him, tell him what you have told me. Maybe he will tell you the truth, maybe he will not. It is his choice to make.
Do you know a man named Brian Westhouse?
Westhouse? That old goat? Yes, unfortunately. What would you with him?
I need to find him.
I do not know where he lives. I hear somewhere on the outskirts of the city by the sea, but I cannot tell you any more than that.
Who'd know about Westhouse?
His whereabouts? I do not understand what you would with him. He is rude, uncultured, and ignorant.
Cortez told me to look him up.
Well, I do not know where he lives or frequents, but someone at the market may. He trades merchandise there, and I think he collects maps of the Northlands.
Who did you say I should see about Westhouse?
The map merchant at the market may know. There is one thing I must tell you, however. Few would know Westhouse by his real name. In the city, he is known as the Rolling Man because of his strange two-wheeled vehicle. A most dreadful and dangerous contraption if I ever saw one.
A bicycle?
Perhaps. It has a grotesque appearance, much like the Westhouse himself.
I'll see you later.
You will? If you say so, then it must be true.
Sorry-looking bird.
Hey, you don't look too polished yourself, lady.
Oops, I didn't know you could talk.
Didn't look as if you could talk either.
Maps, I got maps. Can I interest you in a map, miss? Top-notch, hand-drawn in quality ink by skilled sunwriters. Ain't no better in all the Northlands.
How much are your maps?
That depends, miss. I got a very nice one here of the border mountains for only 6 arons, fresh from the quill of a sunrider. Maps, get your maps here.
Do you sell maps of the city?
Can't help you there, miss. The Guild of Tourism has monopoly on city maps. I can tell you're not from around here, or you'd know that. Got tons of maps of all the Northlands, though, from the city of Tyran to the Bay of Fire. Maps!
Where can I find the Guild of Tourism?
They're closed for the holidays.
Sure, that makes sense. Can you tell me where the Rolling Man lives?
Maybe, maybe not. Why?
Because I need to find him.
Sorry, guild rules. I'm not allowed to divulge any personal information about my customers. Maps!
I really need to know where the Rolling Man lives.
Sorry, can't do.
Please? Pretty please?
No, 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 young lady. Don't give me that doe-eyed look. Don't. Blasted be the balance. You're giving me that doe-eyed look, aren't you? I still can't tell you, though. I got maps.
Mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Yes, maps.
Do you know Vestrum Tobias?
Everyone knows Vestrum Tobias, girl. He's been an important part of this city for as long as I can remember.
What can you tell me about him?
The Vestrum is an honorable man, but a conservative one, and I don't know if he still has the best interests of the people at heart. Sometimes I think he worries too much about custom. The Sentinel have been our so-called protectors and keepers of the balance for so long we don't even think of it anymore. But now that the Vanguard are introducing a new way of thinking, new philosophies, I'm afraid the Sentinel will find their power diminish before too long. Their resistance to change will be their downfall. Mark my words, their downfall for certain. And Tobias, honorable man that he is, will be remembered as the captain who went down with his ship.
How do you get along with your neighbors?
The Cups handler? Stay away from him, miss. He takes great joy in robbing people's purses. You can't beat him, not without magic, and he doesn't allow magic at his table.
How would he know if I did use magic?
Oh, he's got one of those blasted talismans. They're always digging up magical artifacts in Chagagriel, and they sell them to dogs like him for a silver coin or two. Get a proper job, you son of a mole!
What's Arcadia like?
What can I say about a whole world, girl? It's a beautiful place for sure, but we're stuck in the past. We don't look ahead, not like our cousins in Stark. Magic is all well and good, but it won't bring our world into the modern age, and Arcadia is untamed. It's wild and unpredictable. Good for the map business, sure, but not so good for productivity and expansion. No, some people may consider our world a paradise. The Sentinel, for one, they'd prefer to keep it just the way it is. Me, I'd like to see some changes, and fast.
What do you know about Stark?
Land of wonders, strange customs, and machinery. To be in Stark. I'd give my right leg. Well, perhaps not my right leg as such. You really need two sturdy legs to stand on in this business, or you'll find yourself... yes, a grand place indeed, free of this blasted, chaotic, unpredictable magic. Does no good to anyone. Now, machines built by man, controlled by man, in servitude of man. That's the future, isn't it? Yes, the Vanguard may be a little unorthodox in their methods and teachings, but they're right about one thing. Stark and Arcadia belong together, not apart.
Thanks for your help.
Maps?
I'm looking for Brian Westhouse.
Briar West of House? It's not on any of my maps, and I've never heard of it. Maps?
It's a man, not a place. Mr. Brian Westhouse.
I would most certainly remember a name as queer as that, and I don't. Get your maps while they're fresh.
Please tell me where the Rolling Man lives.
No, can't do, miss. I can't divulge personal information about my customers. You're late again, and you know what else? You're fired! Give me back the delivery list and get your sorry blue skin elsewhere! Hired hell. Bah! Never hire a Domari to do a...
What are you gonna do now, without a delivery boy?
Hire a new one, of course. Blasted be the balance. That means I'll have to pay the damn fee to the Guild of Merchants. Damnation.
Maybe I could help you out.
You? How?
I'm quick, honest, and reliable, and I've got a lot of experience in the service industry.
Perhaps a female errand boy could work if the Guild of Merchants don't find out.
I won't tell them if you don't.
Mind the pay's not much, only a single errand per delivery, plus whatever tip the customer may see fit to give you.
I'll take the job, if you want me.
Agreed. Maybe you'll even bring in some new business. Here's the delivery list for today and your first map. It's for the captain of the White Dragon. Nebeve, I think his name is. You'll find him in the harbor. Oh, and remember to have the customers sign the delivery list. The Guild are sticklers for protocol. No signature, no money, no new jobs.
Bye now.
Maps, fresh, detailed, life-saving maps.